If you can't write down your A-plus setup in enough detail that a trader who's never seen it before could execute it and get your exact results, that could be the reason your evaluations keep failing. Not your strategy, not the market, not your prop firm being rigged against you. You've got a setup that works. You know it works. You've seen it play out 100 times in your head, maybe a few hundred times on a chart. You could probably spot it in your sleep. But ask yourself this: if you had to hand that setup to another trader, someone who's never met you and has never seen your setup before, could they execute it and get the same results you get? Most traders freeze right there because the honest answer is no. And that's what costs traders their evaluation or their funded account. Knowing your setup and being able to explain your setup are two completely different skills. You can feel a trade in your gut and still not be able to write it down in order, every single condition that has to be true before you take it. And that's the difference between knowing your setup and actually being able to explain it to someone else. That's where evaluations get failed. That's where funded accounts get blown up. Not because the trader didn't have a good setup, because the trader never actually finished building it. I've been trading for 26 years, and for the first 2 years, if you'd asked me to write down my exact A-plus setup, every condition in order, exactly the way a real system checklist requires, I couldn't have done it. Not because I didn't have a setup that worked, because I was trading off of a feeling. And trading like a robot doesn't run on feelings. It runs on data. Real examples pulled from your own trading. Good ones and bad ones. Checked to see if the pattern's actually profitable. Tested. Refined. That process is what turns a feeling into a system checklist. What I had before I did that work wasn't a rough checklist. It wasn't a checklist at all yet. Here's the metaphor that finally made this click for me. Your setup is only real once it's a recipe. A feeling is not a recipe. A recipe has to be so specific that someone who's never been in your kitchen can follow it and the food comes out the same. If you can't write it down like that, you don't have a system. And systems help pass evaluations. So here's the exercise. I call it the 15-minute test, and it costs you nothing except 15 minutes and a piece of paper. Close your charts, close your trade history, don't look at a single candle. This isn't a research exercise. It's a memory and honesty exercise. Now take a pen and paper and write out every single condition that has to be true for your A-plus setup, your best setup, the one you'd bet the account on to occur. Not price action looks good, specifics. What's the exact market condition? What time of day? What does price have to do first? What confirms it? What invalidates it? What's your exact entry trigger? Your exact stop? Your exact target? Or your exact rule for managing the trade once you're in it? Here's your actual test. And it's non-negotiable. Could you hand this piece of paper to another trader, someone who has never seen your setup before, and have them sit down at their own charts, follow what you wrote, and get your results? If you can hand it off and it holds up, that tells you something real about where you're at. Most people try this for the first time, don't get there. They get 3 lines in and they realize they've been trading off of a feeling they never fully translated into words. That's not failure. That's exactly what the test is for. It shows you precisely where your setup breaks down, so you know exactly what to go build. So here's what I want you to do. Not later today, not when the market's closed and I have some time, right now, or the next time you sit down away from your desk. 15 minutes, a pen, a paper, no charts. Write your setup down like you're handing it to a trader who's never met you. There's no passing grade here. This isn't a test you pass or fail. It's a test that exposes exactly how much you actually know about your own setup. When you're done, read it back and ask yourself one question. If a fund manager with $1 million account read this, would they hire you to trade it? Would what you wrote convince them you actually have a system? Or would it tell them you're still trading on feel? If it holds up, that's real. And it's rare. Most people don't get there on the first try. If it falls apart in 3 lines, or you find yourself not wanting to finish it, that's information too. Either you found the exact spot where your system isn't built yet, or you found out you're not willing to do the work it takes to build it. Both are worth knowing now, before an evaluation tells you the hard way. That's the test. Now, go run it and watch the next video. This is the same thing I teach every week inside my community, Day Trade Like a Robot. If you want help actually applying this, not just watching it once and hoping it sticks, go to Skool.com and type in Day Trade Like a Robot and join.